What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Streamer Nexus podcast. We have our new guest today, RealSpaceT.
How you doing?
And tell us a little bit about yourself, RealSpace.
Um, well, I mean, I'm a streamer, obviously. Um, Member of the amazing community that is the Streamer Nexus. Um, Still quite small at the moment. Variety streamer. Stream a lot of different stuff at the moment. Trying to branch out, do some new stuff. But I've streamed, everything: Overwatch, Fortnite. Trying to do some more single player games now. Playing a lot of Yakuza 0, stuff like that. And yeah, just trying to find what works at the moment and go with that. So that's me pretty much. Just nice, chill, relax, don't take things too seriously, and yeah.
I like that. Okay, well let's get in. When did you start streaming?
Well, this is a tough question because I can't actually remember myself. I can't actually. I might have to look on my Twitch. 'Cause I can't even remember when I made my stream anniversary, but it was sort of, well, it would have been over a year ago at this point.
Oh wow.
But that was when I started out. It was basically because I was on Twitter a lot, so I had quite a few followers. And one day I was just like, hey, maybe I should just start streaming myself playing some games, and if anyone who follows me on Twitter wants to watch, that might be fun just to hang out with some people. And so I started doing that, and a couple of my friends on there sort of started hanging out and stuff, but it wasn't too serious. It was very sort of hit and miss. I mean, well, so like it wasn't very often that I was streaming.
Right.
And then I sort of tried to make it a more regular thing. So I was like, okay, maybe I can try and start doing this maybe once a week, try and keep it a regular thing. And so I was trying to work out when my stream anniversary was, and if I can get my thing up. So I worked out that it was the 14th of July.
Oh wow. Okay.
Thanks for that.
So over a year now.
For making a note of that. So yeah, the reason why I made that my stream anniversary is because that was the first tweet I could find where I started streaming under the username SpaceT. Because I couldn't get SpaceT on Twitch. Originally it was SpaceT with 2 E's on the end, but I thought that'd be a bit confusing, which is why I changed it to RealSpaceT, so it's a bit more consistent. And yeah. And then back in November, a streamer that some of you may know called NegaOryx raided a good friend of mine called Baggers, and that's kind of how all this started, really. Because it's strange how this all started, because I used to watch a lot of Yogscast on YouTube and stuff. And the person who, I don't know if he's still doing music for them, but he did a lot of music work from someone called Sparkles, who's also a member of Area 11. And he sometimes streamed on Twitch. And through Twitch, I found another streamer who he was friendly with. I watched her streams for a while. And then through her, I found another streamer. And then she raided NegaOryx, who I believe was doing I think it was like an anniversary stream or something. I can't remember, but this was back in November. And then when she was done streaming, she raided Baggers. And then that's pretty much how all this started. So I'd say probably not long after NegaOryx raided Baggers was when I properly started streaming and things really started to kick off. Because then through Baggers I found Jazzy, and through Jazzy I found yourself, and pretty much everyone else that I'm now friends with on Twitch.
Oh my gosh.
So it kind of all just stemmed out from that one raid. So yeah.
That's incredible.
Probably about the start of this year was probably when it was really, like, I took it really, really seriously and things started to kick off. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where'd the name come from, RealSpaceT?
This is a real weird one, because one of my friends on Twitter, their username on Steam, because there's a bit of backstory to this. I still do, but I was watching a ton of anime back then, and there's this one show called Hibike Euphonium, or Sound Euphonium. And their Steam username was kind of a play on that, and it was Space Euphanaut, as in like euphonium and astronaut put together.
Mm-hmm.
And because we were really good friends, I was like, hey, maybe I can make my own little username like that. We can be like username buddies and stuff. And there's another anime that I really really enjoyed watching called K-On!, which is a really really popular anime.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite character's surname in that was Tanaka. So I ended up changing my Steam username to space Tanaka not. So I kind of rolled with that for a while, and I'm like, this is way too long. And I'm like, I need a proper username because I've never had a proper username. I've had loads of usernames in the past, and none of them really stuck. And I was like, I need to do something here. So I thought about it, and I was like, okay, maybe if I just shorten it to space T, and I've kind of just stuck with that ever since. I've kind of rolled with it, and I'm like, hey, this sounds cool. So we'll roll with it. And then obviously it's RealSpaceT because I couldn't get Space T on Twitch because someone is apparently Space T. Apparently they're still active because the username hasn't become available. So
Oh, okay.
that's why I'm still RealSpaceT. But yeah, that's pretty much the story behind it. So
That's awesome. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the hosts. Joe is in here, Martin, the real Gibson,
hey Joe, hey
Jesse.
Hey Jesse.
And it's Martin's birthday this week, so we've been celebrating.
Happy birthday!
That. Awesome. So I guess you touched on it a little bit, but why did you decide to stream?
Just because I don't know. Like originally, as I was saying, it was kind of just a way for me to sort of hang out with people while I was playing games because I play a lot of video games anyway, regardless of streaming.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like, hey, I'm playing video games, and it's like, I knew about Twitch and I knew about streaming, but I never tried it myself. And I was like, just one time I was like, hey, maybe I can stream myself playing the game because I think that the first game that I streamed was Hyperdimension Neptunia. But that was way back before I had a cam or a mic set up or anything, so it was literally raw gameplay on Twitch, and me chatting in chat. But it was just an excuse for me to say, okay, I'm playing Hyperdimension Neptunia, I may as well stream it, and then if anyone who's following me on Twitter wants to come over and hang out while I'm playing games. And then, like I said, I kind of tried to make it a regular thing because I started to get into it and enjoy it, and then eventually, like I say, in November, after that Negro RX raid and meeting wonderful people like Baggers and Jazzy and yourself and everyone else, and it was kind of just like, hey, I'm really getting into this, and I started putting a lot more effort into it and stuff like that, and that's pretty much how I've got to where I am now. Just putting a lot of effort into it and just trying to stream as regularly as possible, really, and investing in a lovely mic and now a face cam as well more recently.
That's made a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big jump. Believe it. Well, let's talk about some of your favorite games, both on and off stream.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well, probably my most favorite game right now, I'd probably have to say is Siege. I'm enjoying Siege a lot recently.
That's awesome.
I'm playing it a ton, mostly off stream, just because it's the kind of game that I don't really feel like I can stream unless I have a squad of people to play it with. Because with a game like Siege, communication is super important, and obviously if I'm getting grouped up with randoms, I don't know who they are or what they're like, so I end up just muting them, and then it's kind of awkward because I can't hear what they're saying and stuff. So but maybe if one night I really want to play Siege, I'll just stream it anyway. But at the moment, definitely off stream. That's my favorite game to play off stream. On stream, probably Fortnite actually. Although I am enjoying playing Warframe on stream. At the moment, and Yakuza 0 is really fun too. That's probably one of my favorite games to stream at the moment. Actually, I'm really enjoying that. And that's like some games like The Sims I enjoy streaming, but I like with The Sims I kind of enjoy it a bit more when I play it off stream. It's a bit of a weird one for me. It's like I don't really know whether I like to play it on stream or off stream at the moment. That's one of the sort of things I'm still trying to work out at the moment. But yeah, definitely I'd say off stream Siege and probably on stream Fortnite. Although I have been having issues with Fortnite recently, so that may have to change.
Oh man.
Yeah. as it stands, Siege and Fortnite probably, yeah.
So you were talking about the difference between multiplayer and single player
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
streaming. Like,
Mm.
how has that affected you transitioning back and forth
Um,
between the
yeah,
two?
it takes a bit of getting used to because I've streamed one single player game in the past, which I still need to get back to stream actually, which is Hat in Time that I started playing. That I was really enjoying. That took a bit of getting used to, because obviously it's so much easier when you're playing multiplayer games because everything is new and fresh every time, and you can find lots of stuff to talk about and stuff. But when
Mm-hmm.
you get single player games, A, it's always the same, and also B, there's lots of cutscenes and stuff, and it's like, when do I be quiet? When I can know when to talk, and things start getting a bit quiet, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe I should start talking. It's not so quiet. Yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to, but yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying Echoes of Zero at the moment, so
Yeah.
that's
I,
definitely going to become a regular thing.
I think my general rule was like I try not to talk during cutscenes because I want to
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
myself and I want the viewers to enjoy it. But sometimes you
yeah,
just
yeah,
can't help it. You just got to say
yeah.
something. You
And
can't be
then
quiet
games, yeah, and
all
then
the
games
time.
like Yakuza Zero, if it's a proper cutscene,
Mm-hmm.
there's talking, but if it's like a sort of bit of dialogue, it's like there's text, but
Yeah.
they're not actually speaking. So it's like, okay, well, I've kind of worked out. Okay, so if I read what's on screen and I kind of almost become the character,
Uh-huh.
then it fills that space. And
I
yeah,
like that.
I like playing around doing voices and stuff and giving people individual personalities because that's kind of fun.
That is the best. Yeah. That's
Mm.
actually a lot of fun. And that's one of the cool things that streamers can do.
Yep.
So what is something that differentiates you from other streamers then?
Well, um, probably. I mean, I try to make my streams as chill as possible, really. Like, because obviously, as with everyone else, I want my streams to be as professional as possible. But at the same time, I want to kind of try and make my stream somewhere where people are just happy to just come in and chill, and things aren't too serious, and it's not like. I mean, I guess that's pretty much what most people want. But like, I mean, the way I would probably describe my stream, and I guess this is really comparing myself to another streamer, but there is another streamer, um, called Ridosaurus, who his streams are quite chill, and I guess
Oh
that's
yeah.
kind of what I want to do with my stream as well. Just have it be like a kind of place where it's like, I mean, I want to get people as involved as possible, but I want it to be like a kind of like a chill place. So it's kind of just like we're all just sitting down and playing games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I want to be entertaining, but at the same time, I just want it to be like, okay, it's just like, you're just coming home to just sit down and chill out with me and just play games,
Mm-hmm.
and just have a comfy, cozy, cool time, I guess. um, and yeah, and I mean, I'm constantly trying to add new stuff to the stream as well. That's one thing I'm definitely pretty big on, is if I can think of something new to add to the stream, then I'll like, okay, I'll make a note of that, and I'll add that, and I'm constantly having ideas of what I can improve and stuff. Like, the one thing that I don't like is letting things stagnate.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if I've gone like a week and I haven't really changed much on the stream, then I'm like, I need to add something new. I need to, I'm constantly in improving stuff and trying to add different ways of, different ways of, in interacting and stuff, and new features and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just generally just one my streams just be somewhere where people can just come and chill, and just pretty much.
I like that. So you're basically always trying to grow and change and be fresh and
Yeah,
new. That way nobody
yeah,
ever really gets bored of what's going on.
yeah.
They never
Yeah.
know what to fully expect when they come in.
Mm. Yeah.
I like that. So everything's very nice and relaxed because I know Ryder is very relaxed when he's
Yeah,
streaming.
yeah.
Everything's really chill. He's hunched in his chair
Yeah.
and he's really chill and he just talks
Yeah.
and he keeps that
Mm.
same calm voice most of the time.
Yeah.
And that's great. So yeah,
Mm.
it's a good idea to kind of go for that type of stream.
Hmm. And I mean,
Uh,
like,
yeah.
there's obviously times when, you know, things do get a bit tense, and I do get competitive. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but I kind of want it to be not about how good I am at playing games, but just more of a you know, just laid back, not too much worrying about stuff or caring about stuff. Just playing games, having a good time. You know, just being down to earth and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the spirit
I want
of it.
people to feel like they know me on a more personal level. You know, so.
Let's see. Joe says that Telltale Games are hard because they're basically cutscenes. You can't really talk. I found it very difficult, and I think Joe did too. Is like you can't really talk a lot because there's always someone else talking, and there's cutscenes. I had to keep pausing the game. I think that was the best way for me to approach that. Because like people would be hosting and subbing and things, and I would just be like, I need to stop so we can address these things. I don't want it to mess up the
In comes
dialogue.
important cutscene and then like
Yeah,
10 alerts.
like somebody dies and we're like, what happened? I don't know. You know.
Somebody dies and then someone just cheers 500 bits and it's like, yeah, I can understand how that could be really annoying.
Hodor is here and he has an urgent question for Mr. Curry T. Did you have any curry today?
I did yesterday.
Oh man, what kind of curry are you having?
What was it? It had chicken in it.
Oh, okay.
It had potatoes as well and stuff like that. So it was nice.
Getting to the
that's fun.
urgent questions here.
Urgent questions, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about what are some of the key aspects and features of a good stream in your opinion.
Okay, well, going back to what I was saying, probably well, I think probably the number one thing that I would look for in a good stream is someone who is really interacting with chat. You know, someone who obviously really cares about the viewers, and who, you know, is just. I like people who are like, you know, just really down to earth, and like it's really obvious that they care about you as an individual. You know, and that's kind of what I want to do in my streams. You know, I want to kind of get to know each individual person. I mean, obviously, when you get to a certain point where you've got loads of viewers, that becomes, you know, incredibly difficult. But it's, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I like watching smaller streamers, because it's you know, there's less people. The stream has more time to sort of interact with you individually and stuff like that, and so that's a pretty. That's something I'm pretty big on, and also like interactivity. Like one of the reasons why I love Bagger streams so much is because there's so much, so many ways you can interact with the stream and stuff, and that's kind of what I want to do with my stream as well. You know, having like loads of commands and different ways that you can, you know, interact and stuff. So I think that's a pretty good, you know, good thing to have, and obviously if you're constantly adding new stuff as well, that keeps people around and keeps people interested. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much, because, oh, pardon me. Obviously there are some bigger streamers that I like to watch, but I guess my preference is mostly just to watch smaller streamers, because I prefer that kind of smaller, more, I guess more intimate kind of streams and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess for smaller streams, I'd probably say that's kind of what I would say would make the streams good for me. And just, yeah, I think just you know, not focusing on the game too much, and focusing on your viewers as well. But I think that's just a general thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes you can focus too much on the game.
Oh yeah.
And then you forget you're streaming.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the number one thing that would make a good stream for me, is that, you know, there's a streamer that obviously, you know, cares about the viewers and stuff, and gets to know you and stuff, and you feel like you get to know them even though you've never met them in real life. And yeah. So yeah, that doesn't matter what game they're playing really, as long as if I mean the game does have a bearing, obviously, because if the game isn't really interesting to me, but like, yeah, I'd probably say that's probably the number one thing for me.
Okay, I like that. Let's see. Walrus is here. He's wanting to know if you have to donate 500 bits every time someone dies. Have I been doing that wrong? I'm not sure. Glenn Fishy Gaming is here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Walrus. Hey, Glenn. How you doing?
I like those walrus emotes. Hodor has another question. What is the first game you would show to your kids if you want kids?
First game I'd show to my kids.
Yeah.
Like, do we have any idea how old they would be at the time? Like, because that depends. It's like, I could say, you know, GTA, but there's a big difference between like if they're 18 and if they're like 5.
Is that the priority? Like you gotta hit that age so you can show them GTA.
I mean,
that's the one
like,
you're waiting on.
I'm not sure if it would be sensible to show a 5-year-old, hey, look, here's me stealing a car and you know, beating someone up and then getting sent to jail. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, yeah, can we get a little bit more specification with that?
I guess what would be like the first game you would introduce? Say the kid's really young.
I don't know really.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I mean, obviously something that would be appropriate, obviously.
Or how about if there's a game that's like you know, this is a necessary experience. This is something I want you to experience.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's any age, but it's like this is something you have to play to understand your father, RealSpaceT. This is a big life-forming experience or something, maybe.
Well, if we talk about the first game that I played, as a kid, this is going way back when my parents had a Sega Mega Drive, which would be a Sega Genesis over where you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I believe I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the original Sonic games. Was the first game I remember playing.
Mm-hmm.
We had like loads of games on there, but the first one I remember playing was Sonic. It was either the first one or Sonic 2. So I mean, I'll probably at some point I'd have to, you know, show them that, just to say like yeah, this is the first game that I played. You know, don't forget the classics. You know, but like, I don't know, like probably any game that was that was pretty big for me, or if there's a series that's still going from like something I used to play, introduce them to maybe the newer games in that series or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like that would
I don't know if I can nail it down to an individual game though. Pretty tough.
Just whatever you started with, I guess, is
I guess, yeah.
Let's see. El Taco Justice is asking, he says that you have the voice for lore videos. Is that something you would ever consider?
I mean, yeah, if people want it, I'll do it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because we watch a lot of lore videos for like Destiny, and all the guys that do it, they're all British, and they all have these soothing, monotone, kind of deep, soothing voices, and it's good stuff. But yeah, maybe find something you're passionate about that you could or read stories or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, going back to the other question as well, I've just had something pop into my head about the first games. I mean, like, probably for me, I'd probably introduce them to the sort of games that sort of in the genre that I enjoy the most, probably as well, because I'm pretty big on sort of like open world games and sandbox stuff. Yeah. So probably something along those lines as well. But yeah, lore videos. If people want me to do lore videos, I'm down for that. Sure. I'm pretty big when it comes to lore. I mean, like, if we're talking like Star Wars and stuff like that, I really read into lore and stuff like that. So yeah, I
could dig it.
I'll run a Twitter poll after this, and we'll see.
Oh, absolutely! I can't wait to see how that goes.
Yeah, IRL lore reading.
Oh my gosh. Will I play Secret Hitler with RealSpaceT? I don't even know what that is, Assassin. What is that?
Oh, it's a board game, but you can play it online.
Oh, okay.
It's
Right
pretty
on.
fun. It's a game about deduction and stuff. I played it with Assassin and Glenn before. It's a fun time.
By the way, welcome to the stream, Assassin.
Hey,
Let's see.
Assassin.
So, let's talk. You talked about how you used Twitter in the early days. So, what about how do you manage and maximize your presence on social media now between all the stuff, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, whatever it is?
Well, really, but see, one of the things that I really think I need to start branching out more, because at the moment, really, the only social media that I'm using at the moment is Twitter, really, because I was already on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But like, probably I should probably start branching out to like Instagram and other stuff like that. It's just that I don't tend to take many pictures, so I never really had use for Instagram before. But I mean, like, it's probably something I'll do to sort of branch out, probably. But yeah, I'm big on Twitter,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, yeah, really big on Twitter. And like, yeah, making sure everything's hashtagged and stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I tend to put like loads of hashtags. Like I posted the clip from my last stream, and I must have put like 10 hashtags on because I've got oh what is it? I have like hashtag Twitch affiliate,
Mm-hmm.
hashtag streamer nexus, obviously, Twitch kittens because I'm in Twitch kittens as well.
Yes.
Hashtag support small streamers, hashtag support all streamers, hashtag Twitch clips, hashtag fail. You know, just anything that might get it noticed more. You know,
That might
and
just bring anybody by. Yeah.
yeah. But I
That's
mean I
strategy.
try my best to post on to post in my Discord server and on Twitter as well. Those are the two places where people will know what's happening about stuff. Unless I forget to tweet, which happens sometimes. Yeah, I'm bad like that. But yeah, no, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I'm really doing at the moment. Is kind of just like on Discord and Twitter at the moment, but I'll probably start branching out to stuff like Instagram and stuff like that, just to try and get more presence.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely the more presence you can get, the better. It's just about having the time to manage everything, I think. Because if you've got like 5 accounts and it's like finding the time to manage every single one.
I can barely keep up.
Yeah.
I barely keep up with myself, much less other people,
Yeah.
much less trying to
But
promote
also
a
like
stream too.
not just tweeting about when I go live, because I still use my account as a kind of personal account. So if there's like art posts that I like, if someone's done some great artwork, or there's a tweet that I find funny or something, I'll still retweet all that and stuff like that. So yeah, just being myself, really. I think
that's important.
That kind of goes back to what I was saying about my stream as well, just kind of being myself, being down to earth, and just and I think as well, having my Twitter account as kind of a more personal thing as well, it's more it kind of helps with that kind of knowing me on a more personal level kind of thing, because it's not just like, oh, I've got a separate account that I use to put stream stuff on. It's kind of all in one place.
No, I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of juggling. So related to that, Assassin has a question. Any tips on how to balance streaming and your personal life?
Something I need to do.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's very easy to want to stream whenever you can. And if you have the free time and you got nothing on, then go for it. But like, I mean, I'm getting to the point now where I've been doing a university course for like 3 years. That's done with now, so I'm getting to the sort of stage where now I'm done with that, and I'm gonna probably start looking for work now. And obviously that requires time, and I need to focus on that a lot. So more recently, I've changed my schedule, try and take some time out, so I've got more time to focus on that as well. So I think as long as you make sure that you've got enough time to actually focus on other stuff, don't do too much, because if you're like me, it's really easy to get I think too enthusiastic about streaming, and then literally every minute that you can be streaming, you're like, I want to stream, and it's not maybe necessarily the best thing to do. And yeah, so just stream, but keep it to a point. Don't overdo it, I guess.
Yeah.
'Cause
You don't want to burn
it's easy
out
to do that.
or
Yeah,
have it affect your
for sure.
health or something like
Yeah,
that, you know?
yeah,
Just
definitely,
do it because
definitely.
it's fun, right?
Yeah, for sure, sure.
That's probably my tips on it too. I mean, just make sure you're eating and like
Oh
doing
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
really long
Food and
streams,
drink's important. Yeah.
eating and drinking and
Make sure you're getting
stretching
your
and
rest. Don't stay up all night like I do.
yeah,
I don't set a good example. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Give us a nice inspirational quote. Something that truly stands the test of time, says Walrus.
This is gonna sound really generic, and it's the first thing that popped into my head,
Uh-oh.
but it's just 2 words: be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't.
That should stand
mean,
the test of time.
yeah. I mean, like, if you're someone like Zen, for example, and you want to have you want to be really flash on stream like that, that's kind of Zen's thing, and that's what makes his streams great,
Oh yeah.
But like, just don't make yourself out to be someone that you're not, though. Just make sure you're yourself, because people will like that, that's what I want to do. I mean, yeah.
There you go. That was very deep.
Have fun with it, but be yourself.
Yes, we've got it logged. Okay, perfect. Let's see. How do you believe you can best impact the community in a positive way?
And again, this goes back to what I was saying before with the having a real sort of importance on, like, getting to know your viewers and stuff, and actually, like, if you get to know them, and you talk to them, and you learn about them, and because then, like if someone mentions something in the stream, and you talk to them for a bit, and then you remember that, and then so say someone's like, oh, I've got to go and do this tomorrow, and then they come back to your next stream, and then you can be like, oh, well, hey, how did whatever you didn't go, and then it's like, oh, and you can have a chat about that, and people like that, because it shows, obviously, like I said, that you care about them, and you're getting to know them on a more personal level, and yeah, I'd say that's really important.
I like that. So it's a lot about conversing with people and actually caring about them, and building that sense of community. I like that.
Definitely.
What are some of the changes you would like to see in the gaming and streaming industries? Is there something negative that needs to be turned into a positive, or are there great things that you're seeing that you'd like to see go further?
Microtransactions.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, can we?
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this forever, but, like, it's just, I mean, we could talk about this for hours, but, like, I mean, yeah, definitely, that's probably one thing that's, I think a lot of people are, a bit. I mean, obviously, with certain games, like, for example, Overwatch, you buy the game once and you've got it forever. So obviously, there's a big stress on, like, trying to get people to buy loot boxes, because obviously they've got to keep funding all their everyone who's working on the game and stuff like that. Because all the heroes you get in that, and all the map and all the updates are completely free. So that I can understand. But, like, when you get stuff like the infamous case of Battlefront 2.
Oh yeah.
And locking characters behind paywalls. No.
Yeah.
And again, EA, we could go on about that for hours, but I won't go into that.
Yeah. I mean, we know the story.
Yeah, but, like, and I mean, like, the thing is with Siege as well, it's like you can unlock operators by playing the game, but it takes quite a while. And if you're not playing that game solely on its own,
yeah,
it can take quite a while. And yeah, I mean, like, it if you've got a game where you can pay or you can unlock it in the game, then that's okay. But like, yeah, just getting rid of all this crap about like locking things behind paywalls and stuff, that needs to go. That needs to be a thing of the past. Obviously have the no microtransactions there, but have them as an option, not a necessity. So that's one thing that comes to mind. Anything else? Nothing that comes to mind right now. But hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Assassin has a question. Are you guys excited for the new RTX and ray tracing to become available in all games? Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't. Please enlighten me.
I know that ray tracing is something to do with lighting and graphics, and these are like big enhancements that are going to be coming soon. And I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to work on consoles with the existing hardware, whether it can handle all that, but it's supposed to be an amazing, like, it's the next leap graphically.
Yeah.
They've shown like some,
sounds exciting.
I guess you would call them tech demos of that, where they just have a rendered environment, and it just looks like you're inside a virtual reality thing, because it just looks like you're really there. They were showing like rocks and stuff, and it looked amazing. So there you go.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
So yeah, so definitely look into that. That's kind of interesting. Assassin's elaborating a little bit. Makes making games a lot easier, makes it more realistic. Before, lighting in games was very tedious to make it realistic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Louis Waza is here, and he has a question.
Hey, Waza.
What is your most anticipated game this year?
That is a good question.
I can list a few if you need help.
Yeah, go ahead.
We can go down the list.
Give me a few ideas.
So we've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey coming out later this year. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna check that out, because I mean, I've played Red Dead Redemption. I've also played Red Dead Revolver, which is the first game.
Yes.
That was I tell you what, that was one of the games I played as a kid as well, though, back on PS2. I played a ton out of that game. So I'd probably Red Dead Redemption 2. I haven't been following it much. Kind of bummed that it's not coming to PC yet. Hopefully it'll come to PC at some point. But that was the same thing with GTA, because GTA 5 took like a year to come out on PC as well. So, but yeah, probably I'd say Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm probably quite excited for. To be honest, I haven't been following new games that much, so I'd have to have a think about that though. But one of the things that I will probably be excited for, which I believe, from what I'd seen, that you talked about when you were talking to Jill, was Shenmue 3.
Oh, yeah.
Because I haven't played any of the games, but I recently picked up Shenmue 1 and 2 on Steam, and hopefully I'm going to start streaming those soon.
That's going to be perfect for you. I can't wait.
So definitely, once I've experienced that, I can say for sure whether or not that's going to be one. But I have a feeling that's going to be one I'm going to be looking forward to.
I bet, yeah. Of course, you got your Battlefield and Call of Duty sequels coming out.
Oh yeah, Battlefield 5. Yeah, I still haven't checked out the open beta for that actually. So.
I know we're running out of time. I think to check it out. Trying to think if there's a whole bunch. There's a new Tomb Raider coming out. Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Ah, yeah.
New Forza game if you're into racing games.
Okay. I haven't played racing games in ages, to be honest.
Of course, a sequel to Last of Us. They're working on that.
Oh, that as well. Yeah.
Part 2.
Another game I need to play, because I haven't had a PS4 yet, so there's so many games I've missed out on though.
Oh, so good. Fallout 76. Yeah, that's another one.
Oh yeah, definitely
Definitely
have
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
See, so
We'll
now
see how
it's
that
really
pans
just a
out.
list now. It's not just one game anymore.
Yeah. Uh, New Elder Scrolls maybe. Yeah, but that's a long way off.
Yeah.
But hmm.
I think we'll have that Blades mobile game, which is also on consoles.
Mm.
You'd have that
Yeah,
to kill some time until then.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes. Hey guys, thanks for all the hosts. We really appreciate that support. Helps get the podcast out there and helps get our streamers and viewers out there a little more. How am I liking Spider-Man? Spider-Man's amazing. Yeah, so that's a game that came out this week, is Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4.
That looks really good though.
That one's been really
another
good.
game I can't play because I don't have a PlayStation 4. But
You know, I caught this other sort of indie game that came in under the radar. It's called The Messenger, and it's on Steam,
Right.
and it's available on the Nintendo Switch as well. And if you're
Okay.
into like Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden type games,
right.
it's perfect. It's flawless. One of the most beautiful games. And it's an
Sounds fun.
8-bit and 16-bit game.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, moving on.
I have to say, I have to say though, watching. Oh, sorry, that's my mic stand.
No, go ahead.
Watching you playing new Spider-Man games, it was reminding me again of like way back on like I think it was PS2. I was like,
Yes.
I think the last Spider-Man game that I actually played, or the only Spider-Man game I played, was Spider-Man 2 on PS2. But it was kind of like watching that. It was kind of reminding me of that, and it's kind of cool how similar it is. It's almost kind of like a next gen version of that, really.
It really is.
It's yeah.
They took
It
it
looks
to the
really
next
fun.
level too. Like I
I was
didn't think
just
there was any going up.
Yeah, I was just watching. I'm like, dang, I need to get a PS4.
It's definitely gonna sell a couple of those. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah. So that was called The Messenger, the ninja game. Yeah, and it's available
Okay.
on Switch.
I'll check that out.
And PC. It's really cool. I highly recommend it. So let's see, where were we at? What do you consider to be proper etiquette when visiting a stream?
Well, the usual really. Not coming in and just, advertising or be like, hey, can you follow me and all this kind of stuff like that. Popping in, saying hi. I mean, like I always make sure I'm saying hi to people whoever's streams I'm in. Even if I'm just sitting there watching the stream and someone joins, I'm like, oh hey, just I like interacting with other people and making sure everyone feels welcome. Even if it's not my own stream, just welcoming people, being friendly with people and stuff. And yeah, but as far as etiquette goes, just the usual, really. Just not advertising, don't come in and say, hey, I'll follow you if you can follow me and all this kind of stuff. Just
Yeah.
just come in, hang out, and you'll get on with most streamers.
Right. So yeah, on the like chatting with people and stuff, that really helps create an atmosphere. Just saying hello to everybody. It brings people in, even if it's not your stream. Like it creates a welcoming atmosphere.
Oh yeah,
whether you're a mod or a viewer or whatever it is. It kind of brings the lurkers out a little bit if they do want to chat. Like you can kind of bring people out. They're like, oh wow, this looks like a friendly place all of a sudden now. Everybody's saying hello. There's a lot of conversation going on, and that brings people in because everybody wants to chat about something usually.
Yeah.
So that's a very big positive thing that I really like to see, and it's very unique, I think. Because sometimes you could just get trapped talking one-on-one with the streamer or one-on-one with someone else in the chat, and you kind of just forget about all the other people that are there that you can also chat with and become friends with and stuff like that. We do have the podcast available on YouTube. You can type in streamer_Nexus on YouTube. Of course, we'll have links on Twitch and on Twitter as well. Shed the Penguin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Yeah, so it should be available here and there, and we're trying to get it more accessible in more places for people that maybe just want to listen to the audio on their way to work or something like that. Try to accommodate for that pretty soon. So what is something you would like to see this community accomplish? Got anything?
I mean, just keep doing what we're doing, really. I mean, there's a lot of good things come out of this community already, and I think, you know, the more we grow and do stuff like this and get people talking to each other and get people in each other's streams and all that, and yeah, I think we can do something really good.
That's the big focus right now is getting people to know each other and stuff, and
yeah, for sure.
This is a great way to showcase like who everybody is and what they think and stuff like that, and you can very easily strike up a friendship after this. You can just say, hey, I saw what you said on the podcast. Oh, I agree. Oh, I love Rainbow Six as well. Sure. Let's play. Like, you know, it's not hard. So anything that can do that is that's perfect for us. Yeah.
Anything that makes things more accessible and stuff. Yeah.
Glenfishy Gaining has a question. He says, how do you deal with your stream being quiet?
Good question. Don't forget to you know, try not to stop talking too much, because it is very easy to get quiet when no one's in chat. I think it's just keeping yourself occupied and you know, trying to constantly think about things to talk about, because a lot of the time my chat can be quite quiet, and it's always nice to have people to come in and chat with, but I think it's good to be able to, you know, talk about stuff that's happening on the game, or just, you know, just letting, like, because obviously you will have people there who will lurk, but it's always good to make sure you're addressing those people even if they're not talking in chat. And I think, you know, talking about the game or talking about stuff to do with the stream or stuff that's happened in the past, stuff that's coming up, stuff like that, even if there's no response in chat, just to keep throwing that stuff out and keeping yourself talking, because the worst thing to do is I think is to get too quiet, because if someone comes in and you're just sitting there not, you know, just staring at the screen,
it's not the most entertaining thing, right?
Yeah, and also the other thing is as well, even if your chat is really quiet, remembering to keep looking over at chat as well, because if things get too quiet and then you forget to look at chat, suddenly someone will come in, and then the worst thing to do is then to look at chat like 5 minutes later, and that person who said hi in chat is probably gone. And it's like, oh no, I missed them, you know, and it's like, so
or you got like 20 messages on the side of the screen, you know, you're like, you missed a lot all of a sudden.
Because one of the things I'm constantly doing is trying to constantly keep talking, but also to be constantly looking over at chat every minute, 2 minutes, just to make sure I'm not missing anything, you know, someone hasn't just suddenly come in you know, out of the blue. And just don't do that. I'm just trying to think of anything else, really. Any other advice I would say? I think the more you keep talking about stuff to do with the game and stuff and other stuff, it gets easier the more you do it.
I agree.
It can be a bit tough at first, but once you get into a habit of doing it, it's easier. For sure.
One of the things I mentioned, because someone asked me a similar question, was like, oftentimes I'll read some of the chat messages if they're appropriate. You know, I'll read them out loud, and I'll react to it that way. So if people are chatting, I can make it even more interactive by kind of addressing that I've read their message and then talking to them about it, depending on what it is. I guess.
Oh yeah,
it's much better to do that. I think someone followed me. Thank you. I still have my alerts on, I guess. Yeah, and so I was saying about talking. I think I lost my train of thought. Thanks for that follow, though. Oh, man.
But yeah, just it's just yeah. The worst thing you can do is not talk.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Finding
so
stuff to talk about.
I think I'm recovering now. But I told her that, I would read the chats aloud if it was appropriate, and I would try to always be talking about something, whether it was in the game or if I'm reading things in the game, like reading stuff aloud, because sometimes you can't really just leave it on the screen for everybody to read. You may just have to quickly read it aloud, because everybody reads at different speeds. So if I had to leave something up there, it'd be terrible. But
yeah,
things like that, and just talking about what I'm doing in the game, especially when I get into like skill trees and stuff. I'll often show what my options are and try to narrate things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people really care about that stuff, and like if you skim over it real quick and just select a bunch of random things, and the viewer's like, oh man, I missed that. Like what did he do? So I mean that can. Yeah, you should be taking notes. Take some notes, Lewis. I hope that all these different conversations that we're having with different streamers is sort of letting you see different perspectives, and maybe even the same perspectives on a lot of stuff too. Stuff you can take notes on and maybe learn from. Just don't do that. RealSpace 2018. So we've got be yourself and just don't do that. I like it. Good stuff. Let's see. Next question.
Just don't put them together.
Yeah. Don't be yourself. Don't do that.
Be yourself. Don't do that. No. I mean, be yourself, but don't do the other thing.
Oh my gosh. So where do you see your stream within the next year?
Good question. Hopefully doing the same stuff I'm doing now, just a bit bigger. Hopefully.
Right.
Hopefully, like I said, I'm constantly trying to add new stuff to the stream. So hopefully, I'll have a lot more interactivity and a lot more improvements to the stream. But pretty much, we just keep doing what I'm doing. Keep the stream chill. Keep it as a nice place just to come and chill and hang out, and yeah. Hopefully, I can find people who want to just come and hang and chill out as well, because I want to try and make things unique, but just try and keep this, like, keep it professional, but keep the same relaxed kind of atmosphere and stuff. I don't want to move away from that.
Right.
Definitely. Obviously, hopefully by that point I will have sort of nailed down what sort of games I like to play on stream, because at the moment I'm still kind of working that out.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to understand what works and what doesn't, and hopefully, I would hope by that point that everything would be sort of nailed down by that point, and yeah, so, and hopefully I can meet a whole bunch of a whole bunch more interesting and new and interesting people, and maybe even introduce some people to this amazing community that we got here as well.
Absolutely. So on that note, Lewis was asking if there's a Streamer Nexus Discord. Yes, there is. And basically how we go about it is, we scout for streamers, and streamers are often referred to us, and we usually just sort of go through we look at them and see if they meet sort of the standards of the group, which it's really just, are they like a good person? Do they have any bad habits or toxicity, or do they mesh well with others? Do they kind of hold up to some of the standards in the group, and then the admins decide whether they get in or not. And right now we're kind of holding off, and we're really focusing on getting to know each other, but we're definitely taking notes of people that want to join, and we're keeping a list, and so that way when the recruitment drive starts again, we'll know exactly who to start with, because I think we've gotten close to like 50 people, and now a lot of people are streaming, and it's hard to keep up, and it's hard to meet everybody. So we kind of need to slow down, take a breath.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we grow too fast, then we get in trouble. Then nobody
Yeah.
knows anybody, and nobody cares. They're like,
Yeah.
"Where's my
And I think
free follows at?"
Yeah, and the thing is also, it's also probably gonna be hard to, keep, like you're saying, keep track of everyone, and
Oh, yeah.
and I think probably good to take things one step at a time and make sure that everything's done properly. Sure.
We have to give ourselves time to do stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Everything needs time. Everything needs time.
Let's see. Glenn Fishy Gaming says, "Are you going to Twitch London?"
No, I'm not. I would. I mean, maybe next time for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't got plans to, but I mean, if I can, I can try.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's all
I
about.
mean, I'd love to go to stuff like that though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's all about finding the right time to do that too.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
you've
sure.
experienced a certain level of growth and you have all these things prepared, like I
Yeah.
don't know, business cards or stuff to
Yeah,
hand out.
and I
Like
think-
Jill has a whole thing for TwitchCon set up. She's got the little
Yeah.
the little pins that she can give out to everyone, and she's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
cards made and stuff.
Yeah, because I'm thinking as well, also like, obviously if there are people who are nearby or who are able to make it to events like that, then obviously
Yeah,
there's even more reason to go because you can organize meetups and stuff like that. So
that would be a highlight. I would say that
Yeah,
that would
sure.
be something you would
mm.
definitely want to make sure you do. Nick the Canadian dude, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to the channel. Shed, yeah, I got you on the list, man. I actually heard about you and Shed the Penguin, and yeah. So we're kind of taking it slow on recruiting, but I do have your name on a list, and we'll get to you shortly, hopefully. But hope you enjoy the podcast today. We're talking with RealSpaceT, one of our streamers here. And let's see. Let's get into the lightning round of questions. What is a game you would like to see a sequel to?
Ooh.
It could be a game that doesn't have a sequel at all, or it could be a game that already has a
Which
couple,
game
but it
can I think
but it
of
needs
that doesn't
another.
have a sequel?
Yeah.
Lightning round, and my brain's just like nothing.
Yeah. What game?
I'm trying to think of a game that I think needs a sequel, because just because a game is good doesn't necessarily mean it needs a sequel. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one game that I played a while back, which I never actually finished, and I still need to get on it. It's a PS3 game,
Uh-huh.
and it has, I believe it's one of these games that has a different name in the. I can't remember if it's a different name in the US or if it's a different name in Japan. I think it was a different name in the US, but over here it's called Resonance of Fate. That was a pretty fun game. The soundtrack is really cool. So it'd be nice to see something else like that, either a sequel to that or a game in a sort of similar kind of style. Because I mean, it's. I mean, I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy, but I think it's similar. The way the combat plays out is kind of similar to Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Because it's turn-based, but it involves you moving the characters in certain directions, and you have I think it's like a certain number of steps, but there's lots of bullet time stuff. So like as the character's moving, you can do like flips and do all moves and stuff with your guns and stuff. But the soundtrack in that game was really cool.
That's cool.
So that was a game I really enjoyed. So maybe that. I'm just trying to think, because a lot of the games that I've enjoyed probably already have sequels.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
It seems like they're always pumping out a sequel like every other
Yeah.
year or something.
Or something, or something that I don't. I mean, like something like Overwatch. People have been like, I remember seeing posts about people like, oh, and when do we get like Overwatch 2? And it's like, do we really need it to be like Overwatch 2? That doesn't really sound like it would work. Or like
Yeah.
it should have maybe like a different name. Or something. See, the thing is, I like it's like what we were saying about streaming and stuff. Like I play a lot of multiplayer based games, and so this is more sort of geared towards, I guess, like single player games. Um, yeah, I can't really think of anything else at the moment, to be honest.
Nick says that Half-Life 2 needs a sequel.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that.
And Portal
Good
2
call.
and
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead 2. Seems like there's a trend here. They do sequels until they can do remakes of the first one, then they start all over.
Yeah.
That's been another trend.
Yeah,
Joe
I
says
mean-
Gun needs a sequel. That was a original
Oh,
Xbox.
Gun,
and
yeah,
PS2,
Gun.
I think, as well.
I completely forgot about that game. Yeah, definitely. That needs a
Another
sequel for sure.
Western. Yeah.
Another game I played as a kid. Yeah. Oh, what else though?
Nice. Assassin
mean,
is saying
like-
Borderlands The Handsome Collection is on sale, 90% off. Just an alert to everybody. I might have to check that out.
I mean, like, more Fallout, more Elder Scrolls, but I mean,
Mhm.
we're already getting a
Yeah,
Elder
we're
Scrolls
getting it.
sequel. Another story-based Fallout game, maybe at some point, hopefully.
Yeah,
in the
I always like
future.
to see that.
Yeah.
For me, Alan Wake 2 is what I'm waiting
Okay.
on. Because the first game was my favorite. And then they were like, okay, we're working on the second one. And then they just kept saying, like, yeah, we still have it. We just don't want to do it until there's a lot of interest. And then all of a sudden, when the game went on sale or something, it became like a big hit, like indie game. Because it didn't sell well initially, but I think like years later when it went on sale, it picked up some traction. Now people are interested. Nick says, I just bought all the Destiny 2 DLC, so no more
Oh, so did
game
I.
purchases. Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah.
Another game that I need to start streaming again.
That, dude, it's so good.
Yeah. I need to catch up. I'm so far behind.
No, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I still got a lot of stuff to catch up on myself. But that's cool, Nick. I'm glad you picked that up as well. Let's see. We got a couple of questions from It's Only Jill. She says, how do you keep your hair so luscious?
Oh, that was going to come up sooner or later, wasn't it?
Yep.
I mean, shampoo and conditioner.
A little bit of both, yeah.
Bit of both. Yeah, I don't really have any set one that I use. I just use whatever I have available to me, to be honest. That's all I do.
Now, is there any brushing or straightening involved here?
Well, yeah, I have to brush. I have to brush my hair.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's a terrible mess. So yeah,
Right on.
that's pretty much all I do.
Awesome.
Shake it up a bit.
Cat Ferrum has a question. If any video game character could be your friend, which one would it be and why?
Good question. All these tough questions. It's going to take me ages to think about.
Yeah, like I would have liked a full day to just reflect on that one.
Oh man, that's going to take a bit of thinking. I might have to come back to you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have a think.
I'm
Sure,
trying to
it's
think of
somewhat.
who I would have wanted, especially when I was a kid playing a lot of games.
Oh yeah.
That's a tough one. Zen wants to know, if you could only stream one game, what would it be?
At the moment, if I had the people to play it with, probably Siege.
Yeah.
Probably Siege, just because
If you had a full squad, you just that would be it.
Just if I had like 4 other people just to say, okay, I'm streaming now, come on, let's play. And then I didn't have to worry about when people were available or anything like that. Then but yeah, it'd probably be a game that's multiplayer, just because it's endless really, and there's no sort of, okay, I've got to the end of the story, let's start all over again, and so I mean, I would be tempted to say Fortnite, but knowing me, I get days where I'm just like, I mean, like I played it yesterday and it didn't go well. So yeah, probably Siege at the moment, I'd say.
That's a good one. Assassin, in response to the previous question, says Mario. He would be an okay friend. I don't know how
Yeah, he'd be an
talkative he
okay friend.
is.
He'd be an okay friend. And I mean, like, if you had trouble with your plumbing,
Seems like a decent choice, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one, Kat. You went. I think another question that we've often had was about DLC. Like, is there a game you think you would have liked to have seen some DLC from, or more DLC? I think about that a lot because there's some games that maybe they have DLC, but it's not like story DLC, or sometimes it's just skins or weapons or something, and you're like, oh, I wish you would do something more. Like, I enjoyed the whole campaign. Like, give me some more.
Yeah. These kinds of things are tough just because I haven't played a lot of story-based games recently. But like maybe more stuff for like Fallout or Skyrim, maybe. Because those are probably like the two big sort of story games I played over the past few years, I'd say. Maybe some more story stuff for like Fallout 4, because there was a couple of story-based DLCs, but then like a few of them were kind of like it was more sort of like content that they were adding to the game, which is cool stuff to play around with. But I mean, even more story stuff would be good. I mean, like some of the story sort of like mods that you can get for like Skyrim that had like whole new areas and a whole new story and stuff. Some of those look really cool. I haven't played any of them yet, but some of them look really interesting and cool. And some of these people like I think some of them have been like made by like a single person, and then you get loads of people in the comments that are like, hey, Bethesda, hire this person,
Yeah.
It's so good. And it's like, like maybe more story based DLCs for those kind of games, maybe. That would be cool, because I do enjoy those games.
I often wish Overwatch would have more, just like more different events, and
story
like
mode for
the
Overwatch,
characters are coming out
that.
enough. I feel like they have to really think about when they put out a new character, and to think about balance and stuff. So I think that's fine that they're going at that pace and adding new levels. Seems like they're doing that pretty logically, more or less. But like the game modes, all the different events and seasons that come around, like stuff like that, I want to see more things of what Overwatch can be.
Yeah, for sure.
More than just payloads,
Yeah, like with the anniversary events, with like the story stuff, like more of that stuff would be amazing. Like
I want lore, man. Give it to us. Let's go.
They're releasing it like so slowly, and it's like there's this one sort of like meme image where it's basically I think someone tweeted it with like Blizzard releasing lore, or like Overwatch team releasing lore, and it's just like it's that one with Mr. Burns. It's like, don't forget you're here forever. Just because they're so slow on releasing stuff, it's great. I mean, like the animated shorts and like the especially the last one, the Retribution event. Like playing that made me really wish that there was like a full story mode for like Overwatch. That would be like probably the number one thing I'm really craving right now, I'd say.
Or like a co-op mode. I would love that too.
Yeah, just
but I want story. I do want story, but
something that just goes really into the lore and the story and stuff, and it's like, because it's good because of the lore, but also all of the interactions you get between the characters and stuff, because each of them have their own unique personalities and stuff, and some of the interactions you get with the those little story mode event things were really cool and interesting and funny, and like having a full story mode with loads of these interactions between the characters and having really going into the lore and stuff like that would be really good.
And it really pulls you back into the game and gets you more into the characters, and you unlock all the new skins and dialogue options that come with all that. That's really cool. So Nick is talking about Overwatch. A little bit of trivia here. It was originally going to be an MMO, Project Titan, but they weren't having fun in the playtest, so they took the PvP part of the game and made Overwatch out of the ashes. So if you haven't heard about that, that's kind of some of the
I knew about the
fruition of
Titan
it.
part.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it being an MMO though, so
Yeah.
interesting.
And the thought of Blizzard not doing an MMO must have been like insane. Like,
Yeah.
why? Definitely. Let's see. Got some more questions here. So we were talking about DLC. Let's talk a little bit about some of the bad side of DLC. Like what do you see? Yeah, other than microtransactions, what have you seen that's been sort of a bad way to do DLC maybe?
Well, going back to Fallout 4, I mean,
Yeah.
some of the DLC for that, I mean, so like, I mean, one of the DLC patches added a bunch of items for the base building stuff, which is fine, you know. Like I have fun playing around with all that stuff, but there were a load of people who are like, oh, it just adds a few bits to the base building, and it's like, I mean, I guess stuff like that, you could kind of add to the game for free as like a free DLC. I mean,
Honestly,
like
yeah.
charging for things like that, it's a bit, like when you got the DLC, like the Automaton DLC, or where it was like where you get the station to build your own robot companions and stuff. That has like its own story, or like little quest storyline thing to go with it.
That's
But
fair.
I think like if you're charging for DLC that only adds like a tiny little bit to the game or something, that's a little bit like, you could have just given it to us for free, you know, like stuff like that. If I think it's just like dependent on the content itself and how much they're actually giving us for what we're paying for.
I often have to think about, could they have included this in the game? I always think about that.
Oh,
when
yeah,
when
for
I'm
sure.
looking at
Yeah.
a DLC, I'm like, could this have been in it from the start? And with a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
Destiny stuff, I'm like, yes, it could have been, and it should have been, because
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
the first few DLCs were a little crappy, and that's for both Destiny games, and I think it happens with a lot of other games where they just add in dumb little things like new
Yeah.
weapons or something. It's like, why do you
Yeah.
gotta charge me for that? What are you doing with the $2 that you're
Yeah.
charging me for this? Surely that's not gonna turn a profit for you. Like,
Yeah.
had you included it in the game, you know, you could have
Mm.
made
Yeah,
something out of
sure.
that. I don't know. Definitely one of the bad uses, I guess. Especially if it's like a big chunk of the game too,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like something that's key to the story. Because I know to keep going back to Destiny, the first Destiny, you beat the story and that left like a really wide open ending, and they were like, anything can happen, and then you had to wait like a couple months for the DLC to
Yeah.
figure out like, well, what's gonna happen? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Should we keep playing the game? Like, what do we do?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And so I've seen a couple DLCs like that for certain games, and that's always been kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like the way Battlefield handles they call them like time boosters or whatever, you know? They're like, if you don't want to fully level up, just buy this, and it unlocks all the guns and all the specializations for your class or whatever it is. I'm always a little wary of those, because that seems kind of like a balance thing.
Yeah, yeah. And definitely like kind of getting a little bit back to like microtransactions, they'd be like
Sure.
if it's a multiplayer based game, you know, and anything that gives you an advantage, no, that's a no-go, you know. Cosmetics for sure, but like if there's any like stuff you can buy with microtransactions or like DLC that you can get that you know is basically just like better than like everything else, then it's just like, yeah, that's a bit, you know. It's like, yeah, why grind all this time for this weapon or these weapons when you can just get this DLC that gives you this, you know, infinitely more powerful weapon just by spending their money.
That's kind of the other the other
Yeah.
issue, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick says if they had just took another year with development, this could have been the Destiny 2 at release. Yeah. Well, they took a lot of stuff out, which was a big mistake from D1 to D2. They removed a lot of big features that people liked, and they've spent the whole past year backtracking on that and basically adding in old stuff. And now they're finally at the point where they can make a new story, they can have new characters and new supers and stuff like that, and that's what the new DLC Forsaken is about, pretty largely.
Right.
Is it's back to basics, but it's also looking to the future, which is about time that they do that.
I mean, as I've never had a PS4, I never played the first Destiny, so I'm Destiny 2 was completely new to me. But yeah, that does sound like a bit of a travesty.
Yeah, right. El Taco Justice says that's why I'm having a hard time playing Street Fighter 5. $5 for a new character I want.
Oh really? Wow.
No, I think it's the same with a lot of fighting games. They really nickel and dime you on the new characters.
One of the things that's one of the things I like about Overwatch is that every new hero and everything is just it's completely free. It's included with the game.
I love that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like going crazy on some loot boxes, just like, oh, I'm loving what they're doing and I want some of this stuff. Here you go. I'll try to get what I want. Wow.
And then you end up getting a legendary that isn't even an event legendary skin, and you're like, dang it. So one thing I wish they would do with the Overwatch loot boxes is like, take the base game stuff or the base loot box stuff out of the event boxes. I mean, obviously it's there to make you buy more loot boxes, but it's a bit of a,
It's lame. It's lame when you spend like $50 on loot boxes and then you don't get anything related to the event.
Or you get like 5 sprays and a voice line or something,
Yeah, or could we get like a priority line here? I get tired of that. That is terrible. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. We'll answer as many as we can. Joe is saying, I'm liking it much more. A good friend of mine and her friends leveled up my character on PS4. Jesse helped me last night, and I need to level up on Xbox. Nice. Jesse's talking more about Street Fighter. He says, all the characters used to be included. Usually you just unlock them by earning them. There's in-game currency that you can earn, but it's a ridiculous amount of gameplay. Before earning them was more reasonable. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was an example of a better way to do it. There you go. Nick says, I could buy this $20 legendary skin or open some loot boxes. It would be nice. Yeah, I think I don't know where I stand with loot boxes, but it'd be nice to be able to just buy the thing you want.
Yeah.
Like even if it does cost real world money. Yeah. That would be really cool. That's one thing you can
do with Siege as well, because you can buy packs. And see, the other thing as well is with Siege, you don't have to pay real money. If you've got enough renown, you can get packs through playing, but you can also use your renown that you earn through playing the game to buy packs, or you can use that renown to buy what you want to get. So there's lots of different ways that you can get stuff. So it'd be cool if Overwatch had a way to you could buy enough currency to get the skin you wanted rather than paying a load of money for loot boxes. But at the end of the day, I think that's just their way of getting you to buy loads of loot boxes.
It's a money thing.
Yeah. Money. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. The in-game currency. Yeah, absolutely. That would be nifty. Yeah, I think for Rainbow Six, so you have to play to unlock the alpha packs. You play to unlock renown. Then you have that other currency you spend. You have the XP boosters.
Yeah.
And then you can buy packs of skins and different customizations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really hope they keep adding to that, because it's been really cool. And the new Outbreak game mode that they had done a couple months ago, that was a really cool thing. I don't know if you got a chance to play that.
That was before I started playing it.
Oh no, it was so fun.
I
It was
missed out
like a
on that.
zombie mode.
Oh,
And it was
really?
like
Dang.
it seemed like a really big mistake for Siege, because it's primarily multiplayer, and like,
Yeah.
really, you're gonna do zombies like everybody else, you know? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of how everybody thought of it. But it's supposed to be aliens from space infect people.
Well, at least it wasn't Rainbow Six Siege Battle Royale, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's coming, you know. Like, I'm sure somebody's thinking about it over there. It was so fun and so short. Yeah, I think it was only around for like a month, which really upset me, because had it been a permanent mode, I'd probably still be playing it today.
Yeah.
Now I just gotta kind of wait. That's another trend I'm not a big fan of, is the roving modes that disappear throughout the year. Because like some of those are really fun, and it would make me want to play the game even more if that mode were around more often.
Yeah.
At least have the choice.
I think that's kind of what Fortnite's doing, at least with the playgrounds mode, because they brought that back, and that seems to be sticking around for a good while. So
that seems like fun. I like that. I like the playgrounds.
And the new mode that they brought out is really fun as well. Actually, it's a lot more unique.
Oh yeah, what's that one?
The new getaway LTM that they added. Yeah, so it plays out all differently. So you drop in. Well, you used to drop in as a squad. It's duos now, and you drop in and you grab these llama jewels and take them back to vans, and the 4 teams who get the jewels back to the vans, they all win. So it plays out differently, but it's really fun, and it makes a change from just standard battle royale and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's always nice when games bring out new game modes to keep things interesting and stuff. It's one of the things I wish that Overwatch would do as well, is with the summer game stuff. Maybe work on bringing out another game mode. To do with that, because Lucio Ball's fun, but 3 years in a row it gets a bit boring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you can only handle so much.
Yeah. It's like new stadium. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh wow.
Something else. New game mode, perhaps.
Yeah. There's other sports, like they could come up with lots of really cool ideas. I think.
Yeah. For sure.
So, what do you think would be maybe a game that you haven't had a chance to play that you would like to get around to playing on stream, maybe?
Well, as I said earlier on, Shenmue 1 and 2, because I picked those up.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll start playing them on stream real soon, because I've heard a lot about them, and it's like, hey, this seems like the sort of thing I'd be interested in as well. And I was like, pick them up when they're on Steam, and hopefully play them on stream. And I don't know how many of my viewers have played or watched people playing the game, so it'd be nice to share in the experience with some people as well, because it'll be my first time playing them. So
I think it'd be good. You'd have a nice corner on that market, and it being your first time, it'll be really exciting too.
Yeah, because the only people I've seen playing it so far, I've seen one person playing it, but they were doing like a speed run. So like, this would be like an actual first time playing it. What else am I looking forward to? Probably Deus Ex as well. I've never played a Deus Ex game before.
Oh wow! Do you have any of them?
I've got both.
The latest one was Mankind Divided.
That was it. Yeah, I got Human Revolution and Mankind Divided as well. And the best part about that is I read up is that they're prequels, so I can start by playing them, which is great. So I might start with them on stream soon as well.
That would be fun.
If there's one thing I'm into, it's really like near future kind of cyberpunk kind of stuff. That's really cool. So for sure, definitely looking forward to those.
That is great. Mark says,
and obviously getting back into Destiny as well. Obviously, looking forward to that too.
Yeah, this is a good time. If you have the new DLC, it's a good time to start getting caught up. because there's a lot to do. Even the last DLC, Warmind, I haven't quite finished everything there is because there's a lot of real hidden things here and there, and things that are really difficult to do that we need to hit really high levels to be able to unlock some of that gear, and we have to get a lot of players together to do that. So that's something we got to work on. It'll be fun. Let's see. Mark is talking about Fortnite killing it. Nick says Fortnite killed Paragon. Uh-oh. So they're literally killing it. Yeah, Fortnite is doing pretty well, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a free game.
I still remember the first time I played it too.
Yeah.
Because I came over from PUBG, because I used to play a ton of PUBG. I still play PUBG every now and again.
Okay. Yeah.
Fortnite's weird because the first time I came over to it, I played it once and I was like, I don't like this. I'm gonna go back to PUBG, and so I went back to PUBG, and then Then the next time I came around to Fortnite a bit later on, I really got into it, and I've just been playing Fortnite all the time.
What do you think lured you into it?
I think I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it was maybe the whole building aspect maybe kind of was a bit weird at first, because I think that with most people who are new to the game, it's like the whole building is the building is like the hardest part to get the hang of at first. So maybe it was that. But obviously, I think during that time between the first time I played it and then when I came back to it, I think quite a bit had changed as well. So I think there was more content there as well.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I've been playing it ever since I came back to it. I'm glad I did. But yeah, I still go back and play PUBG every now and again. But yeah, wish they'd hurry up and fix it. That's one thing.
I wish, yeah.
It's still a bit all over the place. So. And also like now, because it's a weird one because PUBG was on top for so long, and then Fortnite came along, and then like the first time I played it, PUBG was still popular. It was still more popular. And then the second time I came back to it was when sort of Fortnite had kind of overtaken PUBG.
Oh yeah.
As like the prime battle royale game, and then I go back to PUBG after a while, and then you've got PUBG trying to like copy what Fortnite's done, adding emotes, and then more recent like a battle pass, season pass, whatever. And yeah.
I wish they would just refine what they have and make it more solid, because it seems like it's always buggy to me.
Yeah. And on the subject of like battle royale games and stuff, it's like I don't tend to stray too far from Fortnite, but I mean I was playing a fair bit of Realm Royale, which is the high res one that they made, which was fun for a while, but now they've changed a whole bunch of stuff, and I think they've just killed the game really.
Oh no.
Yeah, because it was exciting, because it was battle royale, but it was something different because they had classes and ways to like craft weapons and stuff like that. And then I remember they changed it so that you couldn't craft these like class weapons, and you found them, and then people were like, oh, this is ruining the game. And then I can't remember if they reverted the change or not, because I was like, I'm not playing it until they revert it. And then I found out more recently now that they've completely gotten rid of classes, and it's like, okay, now you're just getting closer to Fortnite, and it's like, that kind of what differentiated it from everything else is kind of being lost. So
yeah,
that's a shame, because that was quite fun to play. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get back to that now.
I was reading an article about battle royale games, and really the one thing I took away from it was that battle royale is just a game mode. It's just the latest multiplayer game mode. It's not really like a trend or a fad that might go away. It's just like team deathmatch or capture the flag. It's probably always going to be here now. So like it or not,
and it's weird because it's simple, but it's effective. Because it's literally drop into a map and take out everyone else to win.
And the thing is, developers said it's extremely easy to build that type of thing, because you just put things and you don't have to worry about story or exposition or spawn points as much, because it's random. You just
But I mean, I guess that's kind of why I liked what Hi-Rez was doing, because that they had so much stuff that was unique with like the classes and stuff like that. So hopefully at some point someone else will come along and bring something new to the table, a new twist on it, or maybe Hi-Rez will revert their changes again and I'll go back to playing it. I don't know. So, but yeah, it's always nice to see something that's taken in game mode but doing a new, fresh approach to it. So,
I agree. I can't wait to see what Call of Duty and if Battlefield has something that they're working on. I want to see if they're gonna flip things around a little bit and make it interesting, or they might just fail. I don't know. They might just copy and do the exact same thing. But it could be interesting to see what they do. I don't know if I'll like it, but it's still gonna be cool. It'll still be cool to see. And the thing, Destiny has a new mode, and I don't know if you've heard about this. It's called Gambit, and it's a PvE.
Because I watched you playing it.
And PvP. Oh yeah, we were trying. I was like, no,
it's
not the story. Don't leave.
I was like, I don't even have to look.
And so it was like we're killing enemies, just like a regular strike or something, you know, and they're spawning, and we're collecting their things, and we send what are called blockers to the other side, which are enemies, just AI enemies that pop up on the other side. The more blockers we put, or the more motes we put in, the better the blocker is going to be, the more powerful the enemy will be. And it stalls them from putting their motes in. And so whoever puts the most motes in unlocks the final boss. Whoever kills the boss first wins. But you can also invade the other team at certain times during the match. So you're trying to get enough motes so you can open the portal so you can invade, and you can only send one person over and they can send one to you, and then that person has an overshield. So I mean, it is completely changed the dynamic of how things work, and it's not a crucible mode, and it's not considered a strike either. It's its own separate type of thing. So it's a good way to bridge people that like multiplayer and maybe hate PvE, and vice versa. The PvE guys that hate multiplayer, like me, that I get real mad at multiplayer. But this mode is just so interesting and fun, and I only have to be as involved in the PvP end as I want to be. I guess I could try to run away from the guy if we get invaded, or just hide, or try to get him. You know, it's not as.
No, it sounds really fun.
It's really cool. So I mean, I hope to see more stuff from this, from other games and developers.
Because it's always nice when new game modes are added, and you take a game that's really good and then you add something new and fresh, but it's not a completely new game. And it's nice because it keeps people coming back as well. And it's kind of, I mean, I guess in a weird way, it kind of links to my stream in the same sense of like not letting things stagnate and adding fresh stuff and new stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same with games and stuff. It's always nice when there's a game that you really like and it's like, hey, we're adding this brand new game mode that plays like completely differently to everything else that's been there before, and it's like, great. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is perfect. Well, and the cool thing, I guess the other appeal of Battle Royales is that every match is different. It's you never know what to expect. And so that makes it very watchable.
Yeah, and like in the case of Fortnite, when they're constantly adding new items and changing up the map and stuff and everything, it's constantly changing. But at the end of the day, it's the same game. So.
Joe says Call of Duty is putting zombies in their Battle Royale, so you can get killed by a zombie as well as other players.
Is that confirmed? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that could be cool. Maybe.
That could be.
That's definitely
probably
gonna
be
shake
really
it
annoying if you like wipe an entire squad and you've got like 1 HP left, and then the zombie's just like, hey, and it taps you on the shoulder, and you're like,
gets you.
And you
No, that would be the worst.
I just like rage quit after that.
Well, and of course, shooting the zombies would attract more people to you, so
true.
That creates. Maybe that's a good way to sort of drive the conflict.
Yeah.
Is using sound like that, because Tarkov is quite similar in the way it does that.
Another game I need to get into.
Ooh, so good. It's so good. And once you get it, you'll have to upgrade it because you're gonna want more space and more guns and stuff like that. They're brilliant at what they've done there, because it's a great game and it's very optimized. It runs well. It's beautiful. It just makes you angry. As most games do.
Yeah.
but it's a great game to come back to. I think everybody's talking about their Destiny stuff and Tarkov. Love watching Tarkov. I like playing with Aaron. He makes me invade. Yeah, I pretty much never invade. Like, Mark is always the one that goes. He's like, I'm jumping in the portal, mate. And I'm like, okay, Mark. Mark's Australian now, by the way, but
Ooh.
no.
Good eye, mate.
Mike. He jumps in the portal and does all the work and comes back out. So, pretty easy. Well, hey guys, any final thoughts or questions? Anything from you, RealSpace?
Not that I can think of, but I mean, if anyone's got any last questions,
Absolutely.
fire away.
If anyone has any questions, go ahead and launch them off real quick. RealSpaceT is going to be our spotlight streamer for the week until Saturday, when we announce a new guest that will be on the Sunday show. And so basically what we want to do is try to support RealSpace as much as possible. You know, if you can host his stream, or you can show up, follow, talk in his chat, you know, retweet, all sorts of, there's so many ways you can support. You can come over and lurk if you don't have time, you know, but really any way that you can outreach and help him reach his goals, you know. At this point it's really about growth and community and stuff like that, and so come be a part of the community. You definitely know a little more about RealSpace than you did, so so now you have a reason to stop by.
Everyone is appreciated. You're more than welcome. Everyone's can jump in.
I can say it's like a very chill place to be, and it's always fun, and always like to keep his stream open. We have one more question from Louis Waza. He says, saddest video game moment? ?
Again, something I'd have to think about.
Or maybe the first one that comes to mind.
I'm gonna have to tweet about these after the stream.
Yeah,
after I've had a think.
We have those tough ones.
I'm sure there's one, but I just can't think of it right now. Sure there's something. This is going to be one of those things where I can't think of it right now, and as soon as the podcast stops, I'll be like, oh yeah, that thing.
Oh, that's who.
That one thing.
That's who I'd like to be friends
tragic.
with, that fictional game character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll think of something. I'll get back to you on that one, Wazza.
Jesse has a question. Top 5 favorite bands or musicians?
Ooh, that again is tough, because I like a lot of music. Foo Fighters, definitely. Led Zeppelin, yeah, any like classic rock stuff like that as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's probably what I like the most, I'd say, and like a lot of like J-rock and stuff like that as well. And but yeah, I'm pretty much into anything really. I mean, and even like it's amazing how much of an impact video games has had on that as well. Because like with Fallout, for example, like playing Fallout really got me into like 40s music and stuff like that as well, and actually listening to that as well, and actually enjoying listening to that as well. It's like, it's not something I would usually listen to, and like through playing Fallout, it's got me into listening to that music and enjoying that music and appreciating that music, you know.
Oh yeah.
And also like it's weird when people ask me about music, or at least when they used to ask me about music, because I played a ton of games. I would really enjoyed lots of video game soundtracks and stuff. So people are like, oh, what music do you like? And a lot of the time I'd just be like, yeah, well, I like video game music, you know.
Just the
like,
stuff we're listening to
like,
now on stream.
I could list like a ton of game soundtracks. Like, all this is amazingly good music. Go listen to it. It's so good. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and like going back to what I was saying about like Resonance of Fate. I can't remember what it was called in the US. You'd have to Google it, but you'll be able to find it if you Google it. But the soundtrack for that game is really good. I really like the music in that game, and there's a whole bunch of games that I love, and the soundtracks are amazing. And I mean that's one of the that's probably the main reason why I wanted to actually study music, because that's what I was doing a music course at university, and like one of the main sort of things that got me into music was video game soundtracks and stuff, because I really wanted to get into sort of music composition and stuff. And I was like, I want one day I want to be making music for all these games and stuff, because some of these soundtracks are really amazing and inspirational, and I think that's really had a big impact.
Oh yeah.
On me, and yeah.
So what is one of the standout soundtracks you think from a game?
I mean,
or a couple.
Like the Sonic games, like the music in the Sonic games is amazing. Like even if the newer Sonic games that they're bringing out might be trash. I don't know. I haven't played.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't played many of the new ones, but regardless of whether the game's good or not, the soundtracks are always really, really good. And that's one thing that I really love is any sort of like Sega soundtracks. The music's great, and yeah, it's really good. And especially Jun Senway, amazing guitarist. He worked on. I don't know if he still does work on the Sonic music, but he worked on a lot of the. He's worked on a lot of tracks, and obviously there are other composers and stuff who have done music for Sonic games and stuff. But a lot of that music is really good, and also like music in like on the other side on like Mario and like on Nintendo games and stuff. The music's always great in those games as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, like and I think it's also like the video game music is what's kind of introduced me to like loads of like different styles of music and stuff as well, because like maybe I don't know, I think mainly what must have maybe originally got me into rock music was just playing a ton of Sonic games and hearing the soundtracks, because it's loads of really sort of fast-paced, intense kind of rock music going on, and that's great. But then you've got stuff like on Nintendo side where maybe there's more like jazz or stuff like that, and like that's kind of got me into jazz at some point, and then like because I love all types of music, and I think like different video game soundtracks and the different styles and stuff like that has kind of maybe introduced me to that, and it's kind of so yeah, that's one thing I'm really passionate about, video game music for sure.
That's really cool. El Taco Justice says Marble Zone, the water stage on Sonic 1.
Oh yeah.
And the Robotnik fights, yeah, that was always very.
Yeah, the originals too, like all the 8-bit music and stuff as well. It's all great.
Sonic Adventure Battle 2, it's amazing.
Oh,
I remember. Yeah, that was a good one. I remember Sonic Adventure always had really good music, and the new Sonic Mania, which was sort of the one that looks like the old games.
Yeah.
That one
to play that. Actually.
That one's got some really good music on it too. Yeah, so definitely stuff to check out and to consider some video game soundtracks. But anyway, guys.
And also Splatoon as well.
Oh,
Splatoon 2.
You know what? I hadn't thought about Splatoon. Well. Yeah.
It's great as well, because I remember someone showed me a video, and it's like a video of sort of that they'd taken creating the soundtrack for Splatoon 2, and that was great to watch. And some of the themes for the different maps and stuff is just. It's great, Some of these musicians are amazing people.
Yeah. I always look at them and I'm like, could I do what he just did?
Yeah. It's like that bass line. Okay, let me get my bass guitar and press. Oh boy, that's a lot of notes.
That's the only intimidating thing about a lot of the Sonic games. Yeah, very fast-paced stuff. Wow. Well, guys, we're going to call it right there. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with RealSpace. Hope you've enjoyed getting to meet RealSpaceT. Twitch.tv/RealSpaceT. Go check them out. When are you streaming next?
I should be live tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow?
I believe. Yeah. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. BST. Should be. Around about that time.
Okay.
So, whatever that is in your respective time zones.
I know I'm 6 hours behind.
I'm a UK boy.
Yeah. Over here in the States. But thank you for agreeing to meet at this time, and
yeah, no problem. It's been fun.
Do this, and guys, don't forget he is our Spotlight Streamer of the Week, so make sure and give him all the support you can. And hope you have a good week, man.
Yeah, you too. And
All right,
everyone in
guys.
chat, have a great week. And hopefully I'll maybe catch you in my streams.
Take care, everyone. We're going to raid
Bye-bye.
someone. Bye.
Ooh.